Hello guys, welcome to Bhavna's Online Academy. So in this video, we are going to see how you have to revise law under 1.5 days. So this is going to be the law 1.5 day plan. Yes. So here I have split up the days into three: day 1, day 2 and day 3. And day 3 is the day when you're going to go and write your examinations. So in day 1, you will have to study from 6 to 11 p.m. In day 2, I have put in the time slot of 7 to 10 p.m. and day 3, I have put in the time slot of 6 to 11 a.m. So these are the time slots in which you have to start studying. Okay, yes. So before we dive into the actual study plan, I have just put in a picture here of the ICAI weightage of each chapter. So ICAI has, put the chapters into groups and then they have given the weightage. Okay, and then they have given the weightage. The weightage they have given in percentage, I have converted into marks and given you. Okay, so these are the weightages. So what I have done is keeping in mind both the important chapters, the ones that I marked with pink color are the important chapters for the exam, or which we can say in the past attempts and all have been asked for higher marks in the exam. Or we can also put it in another terms that if you read all these chapters very well, there is a high chance of getting good marks in the examination. Okay, yes. So I hope if you would have seen my law exemption video, you would know these chapters already. Okay. So now keeping in mind both the ICA weightage and the chapters which can fetch you more marks, I have made a very good plan which will help you cover more marks and also help you cover the portion on time. Okay. So now let's start with the day 1. Day 1, that is today. So today by 6 p.m. you have to start studying. So what are you going to start studying from 6 p.m. is I put a slot of around 5 hours. So 6 to 11, 5 hours you have to study. So today we are going to pick up the bunch of these chapters. Here as you can see, the bunch of these 3 chapters. Once again. Yes, so the bunch of these 3 chapters I have taken up. So this is going to give you 21 to 24 marks in the exam. Also the chapter 9, that is accounts of companies, is also important chapter in this. So along with this, I have picked up another chapter, that is your General Clauses Act, which will give you 6 to 10 marks in the examinations. So combining that today, on an average, today you are going to study for around 30 marks. It is very good that in the first day itself you are able to cover 30 marks. So all these, so dividend, accounts of companies, audit and auditors, and General Clauses Act is what you have to study. So from 6 to 10 p.m. you can try to cover the first 3 chapters, and from 10 to 11 p.m. you can try to cover your General Clauses Act. So this will be your plan for day 1. Now let's move on to day 2. So in day 2, the rest 70 marks we are going to cover. So how are we going to cover is that day 2, you on an average I have given you 10 hours to study. On day 2 you have to study for 10 hours, then only you will be able to complete the syllabus on time. So it will start from 7 a.m. in the morning and the plan will end by 10 p.m. in the evening, in the night. So I have divided the day into 2 parts. One is the first half and the next is second half. So the first half will be, okay, so before that I'll tell you what you have to study in the first half. So in first half, what I have done is I have put in some high weightage chapters, that will come in your exam for around 33 to 45 marks. Okay, so chapters like that I have put in here. So those chapters are this I have picked up, this area or this group of chapters I have picked up, and in this there is one important chapter which is management and administration. MCQs, high chances there are MCQs being asked from this, and also questions definitely they'll be there from this chapter. So read this chapter very well. This, and along with this, I've picked up 2 more chapters. One is the Contract Act, which will fetch you 12 to 14 marks in the exam, and also interpretation of statutes, which will provide you 6 to 10 marks in the exam. So combining all those chapters in the first half, in the morning itself you complete, that will be a great achievement. So here this first half slot will be from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That means by the second day 1 p.m. itself you would have covered around portions of 70 marks, we can say. Okay, yes. So here what you have to read is deposits chapter, charges, management and administration. All these 3 chapters, try to maximum cover it under 3 hours or so. And then after that, because deposits and charges are small chapters only, management and administration is a big chapter. So for that 3 hours is enough. After that, you can pick up your Contract Act and Interpretation Act, and you can complete that in 2.5 hours. So by 1 p.m. you must complete all these chapters. After this is done, you will move on to your second half. So here I have given you a gap. your second half will start only by 4 p.m. So since you're studying so much, you also need rest, right? So around 3 hours. 3 hours rest I have given you here. So 3 hours in the afternoon, you can take a good sleep, a good nap, and then wake up by 4 p.m. and again start with your second slot. So in the second slot, I picked up the remaining group of chapters here, sorry, the Negotiable Act. So that those chapters I've picked up here and put it in the second half. So your second half will cover around 23 to 35 marks in your exams. So it will include preliminary, incorporation, prospectus and share capital. So all these 4 chapters you can try to complete in 4 hours by giving 1 hour to each chapter maximum. And then finally negotiable instruments, you can take up 1 hour and complete that. So by this your final slot will also get complete, which will get completed by 10 p.m. So by 10 p.m. your second day will also complete. So by second day all the chapters you would have covered very well. Now day 3 is the important day, the day of your examination. So in day 3 I have put up a slot from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So what you have to do is once you wake up in the morning 6 to 8 for 2 hours quickly you can go through your summary notes that you have created for other law and complete that. And after that from 8 to 11 p.m. or 8 to 12 p.m. you can revise your company law. So this is how your revision should also be. So I have explained you now what will be the weightage from each chapters or what are the important chapters and how you have to study in this 1.5 day. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to tell you a few other tips that will help you while you're studying. So what you can do is, many people will have a doubt in relation to MCQs. Where do we study MCQs from? Do we need to study MCQs separately? Is there any booklet that you can provide? No. So the answer is, listen, for MCQs you need not prepare anything separately. Whatever you read from that only the MCQs are going to get framed and come. So don't spend a lot of time on separately seeing MCQs and all. Rather than that you can study your chapters well and that will help you in answering the MCQs. So don't sit down and study MCQs separately. It is going to be a waste of time. So don't do that. Second question will be that, then from where do we refer any questions if we want to refer to? See, usually in theory subjects, it is not important that you refer questions and see whether you are able to answer that or not, and that and all is not needed. Generally, whatever chapters you are reading, if the concepts are clear to you, you will be able to easily answer in the question. I mean in the exam. Even after that, if you still feel that you want to take up and try to answer a few questions, what you can do is past 2 attempts, that is January 2021 and November 2020. So past 2 attempts question paper you can take, past 2 attempts question paper you can take, and or else if not past 2 years question paper, rather than that you can also take your RTP of May 21. Anything would help. Any 2 question papers, either January 2021 and May 2020 or RTP May 2021, you can take and club another question paper with it. So take any 2 question papers of your choice, and what you can do is once you complete each chapter, from these 2 question papers, if there is any question in relation to the chapter that you have studied, try to answer that question alone. So that what will happen, 2 question papers you will cover, plus all the questions from each chapter will also get completed. Like you will have a double check that you have read the chapter. So this is one strategy you can follow. Okay, one more last thing. Third thing is that many people will have a doubt like from where you have to study. Where you have to study will be a big doubt. So where you have to study is from any summary notes. If you yourself should have a summary note that from where you can study, you must know that by now. Now you must not go on searching from which summary notes should I study or from which summary notes I should not study. Okay, so summary notes you must have either your handwritten or any other summary notes. So from that summary notes alone, cover. Don't pick up a new summary note today from the market. From whatever books you have read from the same book itself. Don't switch to any new book. Okay, whatever book you have read it properly. That's more than enough. Even though there will be a few cases who will not have a summary book with them. So for them, what you have to do is that if you go on to Telegram, in Telegram, what will happen is if you search Bhavna's Online Academy, my Telegram channel will pop up. Go into that Telegram channel. In that Telegram channel, what I'll do is I will today share the link of my group. There is another group which I have, or Telegram channel which I have, that is called the guidance group. In that guidance group, I will reshare a few law notes. In that guidance group, I will reshare a few law notes which you can refer from. and that law notes are summary notes only, which we used while we were reading for our guidance program. The same notes you can use, or if you have your summary notes, stick to that. Okay, don't change. Yes, so this was only for the people who don't have. Okay. Yes guys, so I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please make sure to like, share and also subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you.